Hey, good morning everyone, and welcome to the PivotBoss Pre-Market Report for Friday, October 27th, 2017. Happy Friday everyone. I'm Frank Ochoa, aka PivotBoss. Here's a look at the daily time frame of the ES. We've been talking about this bullish trending market here, and earlier in the week I mentioned if we can take out this low right there, it's an opportunity for bulls to trap and return back toward highs. And so far we've seen that play out this week. With the low here Wednesday being matched right against the previous week's low and then seeing a recovery. I mentioned before that yesterday was likely going to be a digestion day with fade the edges type of trading behavior, and as long as price remains above the mid of the day, it was likely going to continue to remain bullish with a shot at returning back toward the 2570s. Today's high getting very close to 2570 already, a high of 69.25. And we could see further strength. I mentioned to my group yesterday that if price were to challenge Thursday's low, that could be an ideal trap for a push higher. Got very close to it, but not quite, and now pushing back towards 70. So overall, remember 2540 up to about 2580 could be the short-term range to watch. So we could be looking at a test of this edge here at some point down the road. So far, so good. Still remains in a bullish trending market. 2540 ideal zone to defend this week, and now we're seeing some strength up the ladder here. So overall, continued bullish trending market, and bulls look to defend pullbacks for a push into 2570s. If you look at the NQ, very similar again. The level we've been talking about this entire time, or the zone, has been 60.20 to 6K. Ever since this breakout day right there, we knew that a return to this level or this zone would offer the ideal buy opportunity should we see it. And it took 3 weeks to see it. Week 1, week 2, and then week 3, we finally get down into that zone, and that was the opportunity. Price reversed that day, and what I mentioned before was look for price to be defended back toward the midpoint of the previous session. We saw that play out yesterday, and a strong finish, and overall we're seeing more strength already back toward highs. So again, very, very nice rejection off those lows and a nice steady continuation so far 2 days after. So very, very solid, still trending bullish behavior. And again, what I mentioned before was on a short-term basis, a buy in this area could lead to a return back toward recent highs, but on the whole could take you up as high as 62.64.5. So I mentioned a buy off of the 60 20 or 6K zone could offer a 250 to 260 point rally over the next 2 to 3 weeks. So the short-term bounce has already occurred, the 3 to 5 day bounce, and then the 2 to 3 week move could follow into this zone. So again, bulls want to keep this area bid on every rotation until proven otherwise. If we take a look at gold, gold was fantastic. The previous session, I noted how price was rejecting the previous high and how that could lead to a move downward toward 1262 to 1265 on a 2-day basis. And here we are trading with a low right at 1265. So very, very nice push downward as expected. And that's one of my favorite patterns. Again, this is something we talk about in our trading room time and time again. If you get directional, for example, a downtrending market, a failed new high, it's like money. It's money. A failed new high in a downtrending market offers the opportunity to sell to your target zone down below. And I mentioned 62 to 65 was going to be that target zone. And so far, we've hit a low today of about 65.40. So very, very nice, solid move. And there could be more downside ahead. This previous low from Wednesday offers an opportunity for bears to continue to defend for a shot at even extending this thing a little lower. So far so good on the downside here, and we could be looking at a further continuation into 60 to 62 by the end of the session. So very nice there. If we take a look at crude oil, crude again has been bullish on a, but it hasn't been runaway bullish, and it continues to kind of coil up here with higher lows and kind of this little resistance level that's coming up. I mentioned before that this usually leads to a breakout, a pretty strong breakout, and until that happens, got to be patient. So pullbacks are still buying opportunities, and at some point we could see a very solid push through 53s that leads to a move into that 54 to 55 zone. Remember, whenever we do, or should we get that rally into 55s, that's probably going to be around the high, because you're probably going to see the market start to find either profit taking, traders that are going to profit take, or you're going to see new sells come in. This is a value high on a composite basis, an LVN on a composite basis, CLVN, key level 55s. It's the top of the range over the last few years, so that's going to provide an opportunity, the best opportunity to take profits or even perhaps sell it back to value, which is going to be 49.26. So right now we're on the tail end of this last effort for a push higher, but once we get into that zone, it could be a fade back toward 49.26. So just keep that in mind on a longer term basis. All right, that's it for now. Let's see how this plays out heading into the rest of the session. Good luck, trade well, and happy Friday.